Hello, my name's Dave Suckling and you're watching another episode of Fresh Off the Press English. Today we're talking about personalities. It's Sunday, the 23rd of September 2018. This news comes from ARS Technica. The news is about scientists have found that most people are just 4 different types of personality. They have looked at lots of information on the internet, lots of personal information on the internet, and they have decided that there's only 4 different types of people's personalities. Let's look at the headline. Study. People tend to cluster into 4 different personality types. Tend. Now if you tend to do something, it means usually you do it, or you're more likely to do something. You tend to do something, or something tends to happen. It means it generally happens, it normally happens, it's likely to happen. Tend. Cluster. Now a cluster is a lot of things, lots of things all together in the same place. They cluster together. It's a lot of different things all together in one place. They make a cluster. So rather than everything being in exactly the same place, when we have generally things are in about the same location, we'd say they cluster together. Cluster. A new study has sifted through some of the largest online data sets of personality quizzes and identified 4 distinct types therein. Sifted. If you sift something, you literally take some flour and you sift it, and then it comes out and it's all nice and got no big bits in it. But here we're talking about sifting information, meaning they took a lot of information and they looked through it in lots of detail and they picked out important parts. To sift through information, you take a lot of information and you look through it and you find the important parts. Sifted. Distinct. This word distinct is very similar to the word unique, special. Nothing like it. It is distinct. It is its own thing. It is unique, special. There is nothing like it. It is distinct. Scientists who study personality prefer to think of it as a set of continuous dimensions in which people shift where they fall on the spectrum of various traits as they mature. Spectrum. Now the easiest way to describe the word spectrum is a rainbow. Of course, a rainbow is a spectrum of colors. So lots of different colors, but as you go through different colors, different energies make different colors. It's a spectrum. They're all colors, but they're all different levels of colors. They are a spectrum. They're all part of the same thing, but they're all different parts of it. Yeah? They're all part of the same thing, but they're all different bits of that one thing. They are part of a spectrum. Here we're talking about a spectrum of traits. Now we're talking about personality traits, and this means things like being happy, being sad, being friendly, being confident. These are all personality traits. Being an optimist or a pessimist. These are traits. We have physical traits like my hair or my eye color. These are physical traits. I'm tall. These are my physical traits. And we also have personality traits, different parts of our personality. The study is rigorous and replicable, which can help move personality typing analysis out of dubious self-help sections in your local bookstore and into serious scientific journals. Rigorous. Rigorous. If something is rigorous, it means you've done it seriously and with a lot of effort. You've really tried hard to do something. You're not doing it just casually or relaxed. You're rigorously doing something with a lot of effort and energy. Very serious doing something. It's called rigorous. Dubious. Dubious. If something is dubious, it means you don't believe it, or you think there's something wrong with it. I don't really believe that. That's dubious. I don't really believe that. I think there's something wrong there. It's dubious. Something you don't really believe. It's dubious. Let's look at the words from today's lesson. Tend. Tend. Cluster. Cluster. Sifted. Sifted. Distinct. Distinct. Spectrum. Spectrum. Traits. Traits. Rigorous. Rigorous. Dubious. Dubious. These are good words when we're talking about different kinds of information, different research, or information we've discovered about something. We want to explain it, and we want to explain the relationships between different kinds of information. Often things are a spectrum of information. And if you don't believe something, we could say, that's dubious. I don't believe that. That's dubious. Write these words down and remember them. They are useful words to know. So, 4 different personality traits. I'm not sure. Which one are you? How would you describe your personality? Would you say you're a happy person or a sad person? Are you a leader or a follower? How would you describe your personality? I always think it's a bit dubious to listen to science too much when it starts talking about personalities and people's spirits, let's say. A bit dubious of these sorts of things because I don't believe science can answer every question in the world, but it's interesting anyway. If it helps people understand themselves more and maybe helps people see themselves in a different way and so they can grow and develop themselves better, then I think it's a good idea to do research into the reason why people do things, or the reason why some people do. Thank you for watching this episode of Fresh Off the Press English. I hope I can see you again tomorrow for another interesting news story from around the world. As always, don't be bored, be busy.